Good afternoon. With plenty of time for scorelines to change, we're going to chart the progress of all today's football matches between now and the final whistles. It's Gavin, Peacock, Carlton, Palmer and Garth Crooks on duty here in the Final Score studio. All three played in FA Cup finals, and on today's fixture list, 36 first-round FA Cup ties. We'll have news on the cup shocks of the day on the way, but the first result of the day, Sunderland 1, Newcastle 1. Guy Mowbray reporting.
The first taste of a Tyne and Wear derby for Roy Keane and Sam Allardyce, and it's ended with handshakes all round and a point apiece. A typically frantic first half was edged by Sunderland, who really should have gone into the break ahead, but for a glaring headed chance missed by Grant Leadbitter and a Steve Harper save denying Newcastle old boy Michael Chopra. When Sunderland did take the lead early in the second half, it was through defender Danny Higginbottom, heading home a Leadbitter cross from a quickly taken corner. His first goal for the club, but not the winner. 13 minutes later, Newcastle levelled thanks to a huge stroke of luck as Jay Milner's cross, intended for Owen and Viduka, evaded everyone to drift in off the post. Sunderland 1, Newcastle United 1.
Let's get right up to date with matches still underway. The only Barclays Premier League game is bottom of the table Derby versus West Ham. Ivan Gaskell reporting.
Derby 0, West Ham 5. It's a little late for Halloween, but no one told Derby this a seriously scary Derby horror show at Pride Park. Lee Bowyer breaking from midfield, rolling back the years. He's led West Ham's rampage here. 2 goals, either side of goals from Etherington, Solano and Spectre. It's the spectre of relegation that's clearly haunting Derby now. They've simply caved in again here. They're making West Ham look like Brazil. Harrogate Railway might fancy their chances at the moment. Derby heading for the sidings. 5-0 down to West Ham. 18 minutes left for more.
And the situation is getting just worse and worse and worse for Derby. Let's just go back to that North East Derby, because there was a challenge from Joey Barton in that game, which I think is going to attract some discussion over in the hours to come.
Yeah, well, I think he could consider himself lucky not to have got a straight red. I thought he should have certainly been booked, but I think what happened thereafter just shows just how silly Barton is sometimes. He then goes and takes issue with the referee, and the referee had justification to book him for dissent. So he's still playing the game, he stays on the pitch, but he's got to learn that if he doesn't keep control and he loses control, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
At Pride Park, is this Derby that are just poor, or is this West Ham playing well today?
No, Derby are poor. I mean, I would have expected Billy to play a tighter game, because you know it's going to be tight at the bottom of the league. So the one thing you don't want to be doing is losing 4, 5s and 6s, because goal difference at the end of the season is going to be so important. They've been well beat today, and that's his best side he's got out there. So they've got problems.
Now, all they can hope for, Derby, is that the teams above them don't get points tomorrow and this little mini-league stays tight.
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, and the goal difference has been hammered today, which can be worth a point at the end of the season. Once West Ham got that first goal, and there was a stroke of luck about that as well, because it looked like a handball from Lee Bowyer, which pushed it into his path. The floodgates have opened, and West Ham have started playing with confidence. But Derby just haven't shown anything with regards to any creative sense at all.
Hectic mediocrity.
Well, in the Championship, great afternoon for Ipswich. They have a 100% home record. That's going to stay intact, of course, but they thumped Bristol City 6-0 so far. Headline of the FA Cup so far, it's the fact that Ruston and Diamonds are beating Macclesfield of League 2 by 3-1. Non-league Ruston and Diamonds beating league opposition. All in all, though, 10 non-league clubs are guaranteed they'll go through to the second round, and a few others are hoping they'll get something in the next 20-odd minutes. Liverpool and Fulham, by the way, in the Premier League kick-off of 5:15. The bulk of this weekend's Premier League matches we played tomorrow, 6 in total. One of the top games in the Championship, it's the leaders Watford playing Colchester. Andrew James.
Ray, it's not gone to plan for Watford so far. It's 2-2 at the moment. They were 1-0 up inside a couple of minutes. Adam Johnson scoring from wide on the right, but then Colchester went ahead with goals, first of all from Clive Platt and then Kevin Lisby. Marlon King then missed a penalty before scoring the equaliser with a spectacular overhead kick. Since then, they've gone close through both Lee Williamson and Jordan Stewart just a moment ago. They're trying to get all 3 points, but at the moment, Colchester good value for their share of their points. It's Watford 2, Colchester 2.
Midweek defeat for third place Bristol City was only their second of the season. They're away at Ipswich this afternoon. Ipswich have a 100% record, but Bristol City have absolutely crashed. David Garrido.
They certainly have, Ray. Substitute Danny Haynes sprinting onto a through ball for number 6 for Ipswich. They lead by 6-0. You've got to feel for City. Their defence absolutely shot to pieces because they were reduced to 10 men as Bradley Orr upended Danny Haynes for an earlier penalty and he was sent off. The chant now going round Portman Road is, unsurprisingly, we want 7. Would we be surprised if they got it? No way. The other goals, sorry City fans, 2 from Jonathan Walters, David Wright, a Tommy Miller penalty and Pablo Canago. It's Ipswich 6, Bristol City 0.
Hamilton top of Scottish Division 1 and 3 more points this afternoon, you would imagine. Hamilton 2, Partick Thistle 0. Next up in the Championship is the Valley, where Charlton are playing Cardiff, watched by Damien Johnson.
Charlton 2, Cardiff 0. 2 goals at the end of the first half put Charlton in control. Similar goals really, floated balls into the danger area. First Sam Sodji benefited from Cardiff's dithering, and then Chris Iwalumu from longer range made it 2. Iwalumu could have extended the home side's lead, but he snatched at a second half volley. Cardiff have pressed in the second half. A deflected Gavin Ray's shot went over the bar, and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank headed narrowly wide against his former club. A goal now for Cardiff, and you sense we could be in for an interesting finish. Charlton ahead.
Wolves versus Barnsley was 6th versus 8th when the game of Molineux kicked off. And Mark Bishop with all the details.
It's Wolves 1, Barnsley 0, Ray, but there's going to be some talking point after this game if that scoreline stays the same. An offside decision by the assistant referee, Amy Rayner, has enraged Barnsley. Their manager leaping off his dugout. They thought this was a legitimate equaliser off the head of Istvan Ferengi, and most of us in the press box, it looked as if that was a stick-on goal. Goal wasn't given. Wolves breathing a sigh of relief, but then they relaxed and Devaney burst into the box, only to shoot just wide of the goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy. Wolves hanging on, but they lead 1-0.
Third bottom Blackpool had lost their last 4 games ahead of their home match with Scunthorpe. Richard Askham reporting.
1-0 to the home side, Ray. Blackpool have got the goal their play has deserved. Casper's Gawks with a towering header from a corner. They've had a hatful of chances in this match. Keegan Parker in particular. Houlihan has been excellent for the home team. A Jonathan Fort spin and shot, the only chance of note for the visitors. 1-0 Blackpool.
All League One tie, Cheltenham 1, Brighton 0 in the FA Cup. Stephen Gillespie on 78 minutes might be putting Cheltenham in the second round draw, which is tomorrow around about 5:10. 1 point from 21 away from home for bottom of the table Norwich, ahead of their trip to Plymouth. Hamish Marshall.
That statistic's not going to improve any at all, Ray. It's Plymouth 3, Norwich 0. 566 Norwich fans have paid to watch this. On this display, they'll be fearing they'll be going to some different venues next year, those in League One. Norwich have been awful. It's hard to believe it's 11 against 11. Plymouth are first to everything and are deservedly in front thanks to goals from Lee Martin, Paul Connolly and David Norris. 3-0 to Plymouth.
Bury thrown out the FA Cup last season for playing an illegible player, on the way to the second round so far. Bury 2, Workington 1. Staines Town have equalised away at Edgeley Park. That is a massive goal for the Staines Town. Mark Chell-Smith on 76 minutes. There are 69 places between these two teams in the football's pecking order. Great equaliser for Staines Town, a 1-1 away at Stockport County. Bristol Rovers have equalised away at Orient. That's an all League One tie as well. Richard Lambert on 81 minutes, equaliser 9 minutes from time. Orient 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Back to the Championship. A loser in the Crystal Palace Queen's Park Rangers match will be in the relegation zone when we look at the updated Championship table. Roger Johnson's at Selhurst Park.
It's Palace 0, Rangers 1. Scott Sinclair's glancing header on the stroke of half-time has heaped more pressure onto Neil Warnock. He is yet for it to get a first win, of course, since taking charge. Sinclair's pace is giving Palace problems as they chase the game. He's just gone close as I speak, and they're still only in it, Palace, thanks to keeper Julian Speroni, who's made excellent saves one-on-one with Sinclair and Adam Boulder. All 3 substitutes have been used for Palace. They trail 1-0.
Palace second bottom, still no win for new manager Neil Warnock. Preston kicked off 2 points above the relegation places, away at 13th place Hull. Harry Grayston has the latest news on this match.
Well, Ray, Dean Windass, the old Warriors, set up a goal fest here with a close-range header. Fraser Campbell's 15-yard shot made it 2 against a very poor Preston North End. Andy Dawson's 62nd-minute free kick from 20 yards confirmed the result, and JJ Kocher's nearly scored from 20 yards. Easy for Hull. Preston are poor.
Were one of the lowest teams left in the FA Cup. 1 down at home to Kidderminster. Michael Blackwood on 76 minutes of the goal. Were 9th in Ryman Division 1, 67 places below their opponents. And it looks like Kidderminster may well be going into the draw for the second round. East Fife 2 up away at Stranraer. East Fife top of the Scottish Division 3. That is second playing first. East Fife 2-goal lead. Craig O'Reilly with 5 minutes to go. And let's hear from Hillsborough, where Sheffield Wednesday are playing Southampton. Alan Biggs Biggs reporting.
Playing them off the park, Ray. Wednesday 5, Southampton 0, romping to their biggest win of a wildly fluctuating season. Manager Brian Laws, he was on the ropes a fortnight ago, but that's where Southampton are now. No goals in over 4 hours, leaking badly. Personal nightmare today for keeper Kelvin Davis, responsible for 3 of the 5, including a rash challenge that preceded Glenn Whelan's penalty opener. 1-0 at the break, since when Akpo Soji scored twice, the second a corker. Whelan's added his second, and Burton O'Brien has joined the party. Some of those shots were savable, but Wednesday are on a roll and they lead 5-0, Ray.
Blue Square Premier League club Weymouth look like they're on their way to the second round of the FA Cup, and so do Horsham, because they're 3-1 leaders at home to Maidenhead United. Horsham 5th in the Ryman Premier League, could be into the second round of the FA Cup. Well played, Horsham. And Leicester and Burnley both have managerial vacancies. Steve May reporting on this championship game.
Yes, it's Leicester 0, Burnley 1. Andy Gray's clinical finish into the far corner in the first half. His 8th of the season, the difference here. Robbie Blake and Wade Elliott have caught the eye here for Burnley. And we're now looking at the 5th successive match here between these two sides, where Leicester have failed to score. And that could mean the end of the Jerry Taggart and Frank Burrows partnership. Leicester 0, Burnley 1.
News of a goal at the Valley from Damien Johnson.
Charlton now lead 3-0 at their home and dry. It's Zheng Ji, the scorer. It was simple, really. A left-sided free kick from Andy Reid, floated into the box. Zheng Ji, unmarked, he headed past Schmeichel. It's 3-0.
Back to the FA Cup, different leagues, but only 18 places between Rushden and Diamonds and League 2 Macclesfield. Nigel Bidmead reporting.
Rushden and Diamonds 3, Macclesfield Town 1, but Mac coming on strong in this last 15 minutes or so. They got a goal back through Martin Gritton. They were 3-0 down. Gritton with a header. They've now got a corner, and back it goes to the far post and hacked away by the Rushden defence. They're under pressure, but Rushden leading 3-1.
317 miles and 69 league places between Barrow and Bournemouth. James Mason is in Cumbria for this first round cup tie.
Thanks, Rain. It's still Barrow 1, Bournemouth 1, and the FA Cup magic is still alive here in the swirling wind as Barrow holding on against their League 1 visitors and pressing for a winner. Kevin Rapley's 18th minute opener lit up this cup tie, but Jem Karachan's neat equaliser just before the half-time break was a cruel blow for the part-timers. Maybe one of the performances of the day. 10 minutes to go, it's 1-1.
A winner for Tranmere Rovers, 6 minutes in time through Anthony Kay, perhaps, in the FA Cup. Chesterfield 1, Tranmere Rovers 2. Anthony Kay, with 6 minutes to go, could be putting the Wirral club into the second round of the FA Club. Mansfield going through to the second round at the expense of Lewis. Ian Holmes with the third goal, 8 minutes from time. Cup finalists 3 years ago, League 1 Millwall are in the Manchester area for a first-round tie with Altrincham. 48 league places between the two clubs. Steve Lee reporting.
And it's Altrincham 1, Millwall 2, and the Altrincham FA Cup story ending for a predictable finish, I think. They went ahead superbly, a Chris Senior volley from Warren Payton's free kick. As sweet a volley, as sweet a strike as you'll see a routine practice on the training pitch. But 2 Millwall goals in 8 minutes and a player sent off for Altrincham have changed things. Altringham's Chris Lane sent off for handling on the line. Alan Dunn scored from the penalty, and Will Hoskins made it 2 a few minutes later. 16 cup scalps for Altrincham so far. I don't think Millwall will be the 17th.
As a non-league club, Dagenham and Redbridge used to put one over Football League opponents. The Daggers, who are the league club now, playing away at Hampton and Richmond. 33 places between them, but no shock result. Jared Young.
No, I'm afraid not, Ray. Unfortunately for Hampton and Richmond of the Blue Square South, it looks as if their involvement in the FA Cup this year will be coming to an end in just a few minutes' time. Dagenham and Redbridge of League 2 now have a 2-0 lead, scoring just a moment ago. A brilliant finish from Shane Hugh. He was 20 yards out and found the top corner. It's very harsh on Hampton and Richmond, who have controlled the game, but they find themselves 2-0 down.
Weymouth going through to the second round of the Cup, and so are Bury. 3-1 now at home to Workington. As always, the FA Cup brings teams together from different levels on football's pyramid system. Ryman Premier League club Billericay and League 1 Swansea met in a 1 o'clock kickoff. Just the 105 places between the two clubs. Here's the goals from that game. Simon Davis is the commentator.
Almost flicked on, but O'Leary clears it away. Back into the Swansea penalty area. Monker's got to deal with it. Knights all over the place. Chance for Billericay, and they've scored. It's Wade Samantia who has stunned Swansea City. Played into Billericay's penalty area. Bowser's attempt on goal is a superb one, and Swansea have their equaliser. Joe Allen's cross this time will be met by Anderson, who keeps it in play. Tate plays it back into the area to Scotland. Danger not away for Billericay. It's Tate. Scotland. It's 2-1.
Well played, Billericay, but Swansea through to the second round of the FA Cup. You see more goals on the red button later on to Scotland. Now you have the Celtic and Rangers this weekend. They've rearranged their league games to assist the preparations for Scotland's Euro 2008 decider with Italy. 3 SPL games forming the fixture list includes bottom of the table Gretna versus Hibs. Steve Sutton.
Still looks like they'll be bottom as well, Ray, at full-time whistle. Gretna 0, Hibs 1. That 1 goal by Stephen Fletcher in the second half, separating the sides. It was a bit of a breeze for Hibs in the first half. Gretna have given Hibs a little bit more to think about in this second half without providing the finishing touch into goal. Very close there, just put one just wide of the post, but it's still Hibs 1, Gretna 0.
Notts County comfortably through to the second round of the Cup at the expense of Blue Square Premier League club Histon, 3-0 to Notts County. Back to Scotland, Dundee United kicked off 4th, Kilmarnock 7th. Brian McLaughlin reporting.
It's Dundee United 1, Kilmarnock 0 with goal coming after 8 minutes. Noel Hunt the scorer, and he's just scored a second chance to put United 2 up. He's missed it from the penalty spot. A terrific save, have to be said, from Alan Combe, the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. United also now down to 10 men. Jordan Robertson sent off for a push on the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. With 3 minutes left for play, and it's drama here at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Top 4 separated by 1 point in the SPL. In the Barclays Premier League, Derby against West Ham. An update from Ivan Gaskell.
We're just about 3 minutes for Derby's misery to be ended by the referee. Derby 0, West Ham 5 remains the scoreline, and it hasn't looked like changing in Derby's favour since Solano made it 5 just around about 10 minutes ago. As I speak, though, Derby have got the ball in the West Ham penalty area, but it's, once again, as it has been all afternoon, is relatively easily cleared. So Derby's depression is deepening by the day. They're 5-0 down here.
We don't want to deepen Derby's depression, but 2 of the next 3 games are Chelsea and Manchester United.
You've just done it. You've just done it. That's exactly what you've done. Just to remind Derby fans around the country. I mean, you look at the record tells its own story. They've got 5-4, 29 goals. No, I'm thinking it's over 30 goals against. If you're going to be facing Chelsea, if you're going to be facing Manchester United, if they can get something out of that, it may give them a chink of light. What does that mean? Well, I think goal difference might mean something towards the end of the season. So if they can get a 0-0, get a couple of clean sheets maybe, pull a draw out of it, who knows? But the way they play at the moment, they're with the dead men.
The thing is, if you're going to get anything out of a game against Chelsea or Manchester United, you've got to be able to defend or you've got to be able to score. If you can do both, great. Well, these can't defend, and they've had 1 shot on target the whole of this 90 minutes so far, and that was from Fagan, the substitute, on 76 minutes.
Positive news for Derby fans. Adam Pearson has brought into the football club, who took Hull from nowhere up there. He's invested a lot of money. He's taken over as chief executive. He's a shrewd operator, and he said that funds will be available in January. They're going to need a few funds, for sure, but he's very, very good.
Derby might have to go down, regroup to try and come back up and do better next time. Watford against Colchester, closing stages in this championship match. Watford kicked off as the leaders. Andrew James.
Could well be a missed opportunity, Ray. Still Watford 2, Colchester 2, and we've just seen another brilliant save from Dean Gherkin. He's not even the first choice keeper at Colchester United, but he's got his side out of a pickle today with some great stops after conceding an early goal to Adam Johnson. Marlon King missed a penalty, remember, for Watford, and they'll be pleased enough to be at 2-2 after squandering so many of those chances. Watford 2, Colchester 2.
Second place West Bromwich Albion down play. Third place Bristol City have been thumped. If Watford could get a winner, they really would be flying high. Goal at Selhurst Park, Roger Johnson.
Crystal Palace have equalised 2 minutes from time, and it's Clinton Morrison's 100th goal for Palace that's rescued a point in all likelihood for them. Ball swung in from a free kick. He rose about 8 yards out and powered his header in past League Camp. 1-1.
Huddersfield looked like they've scored a late winner at Accrington Stanley to take them through into the second round of the FA Cup. Luke Beckett on 89 minutes. There were 2 down Huddersfield in that game and have pulled it back. Video printer confirming Wolves have beaten Barnsley by a 0-0. The details from Mark Bishop.
Yes, Wolves 1, Barnsley 0. Mick McCarthy's powerful Wolves side should have won this by a hatful at rain-soaked Molineux in front of a crowd of well over 22,000. A close-range header in the end from Neil Collins proved so vital for the home side. Barnsley's German goalkeeper, the hero of the day, Muller, made 3 terrific saves to deny Darren Ward, Eastwood and Kitely. Eastwood and Collins then both hit the post, but Barnsley enraged near the end when assistant referee Amy Rayner ruled that Ferengi's header was offside. That argument will continue, but the final score, no doubt in that, Wolves 1, Barnsley 0.
Wolves avoided defeat 9 of the last 10 games. Final whistles going all around the country in League and Cup. Queen's Park 2-0 winners away at Wraith. Ross County 1-0 winners away at Airdrie United. Video printer confirming Crystal Palace have equalised. New Palace boss Neil Warnock still looking for his first win. A cup upset in the FA Cup sponsored by Aeon. Rushden and Diamonds playing Macclesfield. Nigel Bidmead.
And Rushden have beaten Macclesfield by 3-1. Diamonds manager Gary Hill is going to have a really hard time keeping hold of his star striker, Simeon Jackson. He scored 2 excellent goals and came within a whisker of a hat-trick when he hit the outside of a post. Rushden set the tone with an early goal. Jackson tapping in following a flowing move. In first half stoppage time, John Challoner headed home from a short corner routine. On the hour, Jackson punished some sloppy Mac defending with a thumping angled drive for his 13th of the season. Martin Gritton reduced the deficit with a header 14 minutes from time, but it was just about the only thing Macclesfield did right all afternoon.
1 win from 13 matches so far this season. The gloom is deepening for Derby County. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, Derby 0, West Ham 5. Derby have suffered some pretty bad days at the Premiership office, but this surely the most depressing so far. They made an injury hit inconsistent West Ham seem like Brazil. Lee Bowyer became a midfielder reborn. 2 goals led the rampage. Etherington, Spector, Solano adding more. West Ham hit the bar twice too, which is exactly what Derby's dispirited fans are probably slinking off to do right now. Derby 0, West Ham 5.
48 places between Blue Square Premier League club Altrincham and Millwall. Millwall FA Cup finalist a few years ago, having to try and scrap through in the first round today. They've done that, Steve Lee.
Yes, it finished Altrincham 1, Millwall 2. In the end, the Lions disposed of the Robins as form suggested it would. But Altrincham had taken the lead with a stunning FA Cup goal in the first half that may not be bettered today. Chris Senior's volley from a free kick was marvellous, and the Alty fans believed that a 17th league scalp was on the way. But in the second half, it was a harsh lesson in football reality. Altrincham had Chris Lane sent off for blocking Gary Alexander's shot on the line. Alan Dunn scored from the spot, and Will Hoskins made it 2 8 minutes later. Heroic effort from Altrincham. In the end, though, it was Altrincham 1, Millwall 2.
Not a good day for Bristol City, is it? 6-0 beaten at Portman Road by Ipswich. Burton Albion through to the second round of the Cup. Nigel Clough has great experience in the Cup with his team. Remember, they held Manchester United a few years ago. Halifax out of the Cup, and so Eastbourne Borough beaten 4-0 by Weymouth. Let's hear about Hampton and Redbridge playing Dagenham and Redbridge. Jared Young.
Well, the full-time whistle has just gone, Ray, and it's finished 3-0 to Dagenham and Redbridge. Ben Strevens sealing the victory for the League Two side with a simple tap-in late on. It really was cruel on Hampton and Richmond, who played brilliantly, but unfortunately for them, their cut run has come to an end.
Points have slipped today, but Watford still have a significant lead and a cushion on an automatic promotion place in the Championship. Andrew James.
Quite how Watford failed to take maximum points from this game, Ray, only they will know. Half a dozen squandered chances, including a missed penalty from Marlon King, is perhaps the simple answer, after Colchester fought back from conceding a comedy goal to Adam Johnson in the opening minutes to lead 2-1 through Clive Platt and then Kevin Lisby. Marlon King then atoned for his penalty miss by scoring a spectacular overhead equaliser. But this was about missed chances and a missed opportunity to take their lead at the top into double figures. Watford 2, Colchester United 2.
Well, no one can really live with Ipswich at home so far this season, can they? David Garrido.
Ipswich 6, Bristol City 0, the final score here at Portman Road. A Pablo Caniago-inspired rout to extend this incredible home-winning run to 11 on the bounce. Jonathan Walters with 2, a Tommy Miller penalty, Danny Haynes and 1 from Caniago himself. City reduced to 10 men at the start of the second half. A red card for Bradley Orr. Nightmare for manager Gary Johnson. Apparently, Ipswich boss Jim Adilson has promised to take his side to a health farm for a bit of pampering after this, their third game in 6 days, and boy, do they deserve it. Ipswich 6, Bristol City 0.
The situation isn't improving for bottom of the table Norwich away at Plymouth today. Hamish Marshall.
Plymouth 3, Norwich 0. Plymouth's best win of the season. What's debatable, though, is how good Plymouth were and how poor their opponents were. Glenn Rhoda was forced to leave the stand to get onto the touchline midway through the first half, but he was powerless to alter the game's course. 2 goals in the opening minutes of the second half ensured Norwich's recent record reads 2 points from 33. You don't need telling, that is relegation form. Can Rhoda turn it round? That's the big question.
Let's just check in at Selhurst Park and see if there's any late developments in the Crystal Palace Queen's Park Rangers match. Roger Johnson.
We're into the 4th minute of stoppage time, Ray, and it's still Palace 1, Rangers 1. Both sides going end-to-end trying to pinch a winner, but Clinton Morrison seems to have salvaged the point, but still Philip Walton plays on. 1-1.
Charlton Cardiff, Damien Johnson. Final whistle there?
No, they're still playing, actually. Cardiff have a free kick. Robbie Fowler has just floated the ball over the bar, but it's not been Cardiff's day. That Zheng Ji header just a few minutes ago, made it 3-0 to Charlton, and it looks like they're heading for victory.
Well played Barrow at home to League One Bournemouth today. James Mason is our reporter, and there were 69 places between these two clubs at kick-off, so this is a terrific result getting a replay.
Yes, Ray, jubilant scenes. Barrow won, Bournemouth won, Ray, and this had everything you'd want from an FA Cup tie. Blustery conditions, an early goal from the non-league side and possible upsets, and then end-to-end football from there on. Barrow's Kevin Rapley set the game alight with a fine right-footed strike on 18 minutes, but they fell asleep just before half-time as Jem Karachan curled in an equaliser. With the wind behind them in the second half, they huffed and puffed, but couldn't force a winner, but they've deserved their replay, and the Cumbrians will surely enjoy tonight. It ended Barrow 1, Bournemouth 1.
Well, I'm tempted to say it's a massive result for Staines Town, isn't it? They've drawn away at Stockport, 1-1. They play their football in the Ryman Premier League, and they now get a replay. Stockport 1, Staines Town's 1. That was one of the shock cup scores of the day. Final whistle at the Valley. Charlton have beaten Cardiff by 3-0. That's 3 wins on the bounce now as they try to move up the table. Lincoln City have drawn with Forest 1-1. Lincoln City 1, Forest 1. Dundee United against Kilmarnock in the SPL. Brian McLaughlin.
It's just finished, Ray. It's finished. Dundee United 2, Kilmarnock 0. Noel Hunt, the scorer of the first after 8 minutes. The United striker then missed a penalty with just 4 minutes left. The home side finishing the match with just 10 men. Jordan Robertson sent off for a push on goalkeeper Alan Combe. Prince Boba wrapped up the victory for United deep into stoppage time with his second of the season. It finished at Tannadice. Dundee United 2, Kilmarnock 0.
Let's hear about bottom of the table. Gretna at home to Hibs. Steve Sutton.
Yes, Gretna 0, Hibs 1, final score, Ray. And as Derby are learning harsh lessons in the Premier League, so too little Gretna in the SPL. Just 1 goal separating the side. Stephen Fletcher's strike on 52 minutes. But Rob Jones hit the bar. Felipe Moraes lobbed over an open goal. Gretna played their best stuff after Hibs' goal and did provide a few anxious moments. But it's just 1 win in 13 games now for Gretna, in the town famous for its eloping couples are being left stranded at the SPL altar.
Blackpool lost the last 4 games, going into a home game with Scunthorpe in the Championship. How do they fare, Richard Askham?
They won 1-0, Ray, a game that they dominated and fully deserved to win as well. Keegan Parker, who caused havoc with his pace, could have had a couple in the first half. Klaus Jorgensen had a goal chalked off for a foul, and just when it looked as though they wouldn't score, they did. Caspers Gorks nodding in from a corner. Scunthorpe did rally late on and had a golden chance to equalise. Marcus Williams tapping wide from close range, but the Seasiders survived and were good value for the 3 points.
All the results are just about in time for Tim Gudgeon to confirm today's final scores.
First off, Barclays Premier League, Derby County 0, West Ham United 5. Liverpool and Fulham kick off in a few minutes. Sunderland 1, Newcastle United 1. In the Coca-Cola Championship, Blackpool 1, Scunthorpe United 0. Charlton Athletic 3, Cardiff City 0. Crystal Palace 1, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Hull City 3, Preston North End 0. Ipswich Town 6, Bristol City 0. Leicester City 0, Burnley 1. Plymouth Argyle 3, Norwich City 0. Sheffield Wednesday 5, Southampton 0. Stoke City and Sheffield United kick off shortly. Watford 2, Colchester United 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Barnsley 0. The FA Cup sponsored by Eon in the first round, Accrington Stanley 2, Huddersfield Town 3. Altrincham 1, Millwall 2, Barnet 2, Gillingham 1, Barrow 1, Bournemouth 1, Billericay 1, Swansea City 2, Bradford City 1, Chester City 0, that's the latest score, Bury 4, Workington 1, Cambridge United 2, Aldershot Town 1, Carlisle United 1, Grimsby Town 1, Cheltenham Town 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Chesterfield 1, Tranmere Rovers 2, Crewe Alexandra 2, Milton Keynes Dons 1. And continuing the FA Cup first round results, Darlington 1, Northampton Town 1, Eastbourne 0, Weymouth 4, Exeter City 4, Stevenage Borough 0, Halifax Town 0, Burton Albion 4, Hampton and Richmond 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 3, Harrogate Railway 2, Droylsden 0, Horsham 4, Maidenhead United 1, Leyton Orient 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Lincoln City 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Luton Town 0, Brentford 1, that's the latest score, Mansfield Town 3, Lewis 0, Morecambe 0, Port Vale 2. And more first round results, Notts County 3, Histon 0, Oldham Athletic 2, Doncaster Rovers 2, Oxford United 3, Northwich Victoria 1, Peterborough United 4, Wrexham 1, Ruston and Diamonds 3, Macclesfield Town 1, Southend United 2, Rochdale 1, Stockport County 1, Staines Town 1, Team Bath 0, Chase Town 2, Walsall 2, Shrewsbury Town 0, Ware 0, Kidderminster Harriers 1, that's the latest, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Swindon Town 2, York City 0, Havant and Waterlooville 1. In Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Dundee United 2, Kilmarnock 0, Gretna 0, Hibernian 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Motherwell 3. Ernbrew Scottish Division 1, Hamilton Academicals 2, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 4, Stirling Albion 3, that's the latest one, Queen of the South 1, Morton 3, St Johnstone 0, Dunfermline Athletic 0. Scottish Div 2, Airdrie United 0, Ross County 1, Alloa Athletic 2, Ayr United 1, Berwick Rangers 1, Peterhead 2, Cowdenbeath 1, Brecon City 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Queen's Park 2. And Div 3, Albion Rovers 2, Dumbarton 0, Arbroath 0, Montrose 0, East Stirling 1, Stonehouse Muir 1, Elgin City 2, Forfar Athletic 2, Stranraer 0, East 5 2.
A quick check on some of the late kickoffs. In Scottish Division 1, Livingston 4, Stirling Albion 3 is the latest. Results in the Cup, Bradford City have beaten Chester City by 1-0. Luton and Brentford have to replay, 1-1 it finished, and Kidderminster Harriers have knocked Ware out, Kidderminster through to the second round draw, which is tomorrow at 5:10. Here's the updated league tables in the light of all today's results. And in the Barclays Premier League, no change at the top, of course. There's only 3 matches being played today. Liverpool can go fourth with victory over Fulham this evening. West Ham's biggest top-flight win for 7 years takes them up to 9th. Derby's 9th defeat of the season keeps them bottom. Rams have now failed to score in their last 5 matches. Sunderland stay 15th after their draw in the Tyne and Wear derby, with Newcastle down 1 place to 11th. Coca-Cola Championship, Watford remain 8 points clear despite being held 2-2 at home by Colchester. Charlton climbed to second after a 3-0 win over Cardiff. 3 straight wins for Alan Pardew's side. West Bromwich Albion will have the chance to go back above them when they play Coventry on Monday night. Bristol City slipped to 4th after a 6-0 thrashing at Ipswich, who climbed to 6th. Ipswich have won their last 11 home games. Point above Ipswich in 5th place, Wolves 1-0 winners against Barnsley. Norwich remain rooted to the foot of the table after a 3-0 defeat at Plymouth. No win in 11 games now for Norwich. New manager Glenn Road has got a lot to do. Crystal Palace and Queen's Park Rangers drew 1-1 at Selhurst Park, a result that leaves both sides in the relegation zone. Blackpool were in the bottom 3 at the start of the day, but a 1-0 win against Scunthorpe sees them climb to 19th. Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League table. The Old Firm's match is postponed to help Scotland's preparations for next Saturday's Euro 2008 qualifier against Italy. In action today were Hibs, who closed in on the top 2 with victory at Gretna. Steve Fletcher earned them their first win in 4 games. 4th place Dundee United keep pace with Hibs thanks to a 2-0 win against Kilmarnock. Motherwell up to 5th after comfortably winning at Inverness. Gretna remain bottom after their 6th defeat in a row, with Kelly Thistle 6 points better off. Centre stage football-wise in the northeast of England today, a Sunderland-Newcastle derby match. The score 1-1 at the close. Sunderland haven't beaten Newcastle at home since 1980. Danny Higginbottom gave them the lead, but James Milner equalised midway through the second half. And there's some post-match reaction from the Stadium of Light.
And all the derbies you've been involved in, how did the North East one live up to expectations?
Well, I enjoyed it, and I think before any game, any derby match, you certainly don't want to lose the match. So we didn't do that. We should have won it, but we didn't. But I think the players, you know, from both sets of teams, I thought it was a great atmosphere. You know, feisty as you'd expect, but nothing too dirty, and that was nice to see.
This is a ground that has fond memories for you, isn't it? Youngest ever Premiership goal scorer with Leeds here.
Yeah, it was at the same end as well, so hopefully, you know, it's a nice ground to come to. Enjoy coming in. Disappointed not to get the 3 points because, you know, it'd have been nice. Obviously, a massive game, but, you know, in the end, I think we can be happy with a point and hopefully build on the away form from there.
Our performances in general have been very good, and we've probably not got the points that we've warranted and all that. But you know, I think football and sport in general is full of hard luck stories and all that, and we don't want to be another one of them. You know, at the end of the day, you have to make your own luck, and we haven't lost today in the derby. You know, when I think some teams after going 1-0 ahead, the other team comes back and maybe buckle. I think we showed a strength of character there, and we really kicked on again. And but you know, we're moving to the next game now, full of confidence. The lads are confident in everything, and you know, I'm sure it'll come right soon.
Highlights of that game in tonight's match of the day at 11 o'clock, plus action from today's two of the Barclays Premier League matches. Liverpool and Fulham kick off shortly, and lots of action too from the first round ties in the FA Cup, sponsored by Eon. Well, Derby, bad to worse. Can you give them any hope?
Well, when you consider they've got Chelsea and Manchester United out of the next 3 games, not an awful lot. But if I had to pick out performances, Staines certainly well done, Ipswich well done.
First round of the FA Cup is terrific for all the non-league clubs. Got an opportunity to put themselves in the shop window.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, Barrow will be celebrating. Good result for them. And it's a great opportunity. It's a great occasion, isn't it?
Well played, Rushden and Diamonds beating Macclesfield. Well done, Staines drawing at Stockport. You could also say Horsham are through, beating Maidenhead. Chasetown are through, beating Team Bath, all in the draw for the second round. And Harrogate Railway through to the second round. They're beating non-league opposition, but it gives themselves a chance for a big draw tomorrow.
Some good stories there, Ray. And, you know, the only country in the world where we see that a cup competition, domestic cup competition, go way back. And some of these teams have played several games to get to this stage, so fantastic.
You three have all won the FA Cup, but I guess for all those players today, for non-league clubs playing, it's the equivalent of their cup final, isn't it?
They've had a taste of a magical cup competition, there's no doubt about that.
Tomorrow sees live coverage of the Torquay Yeovil FA Cup tie here on BBC One. That'll be followed by the draw for the second round. And throughout that programme, we'll be following the progress of 6 Barclays Premier League games and action from those games in Match of the Day 2 on BBC 2. Looking ahead to next Saturday, no club football to report on. International football is centre stage, and via the red button on the BBC Sport website, a score service will run from 3 in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night. Today's score service continues now via the red button. All the results and the latest league tables will cycle on the screen, and the goals from some of today's FA Cup ties are on the way. And this is where we say goodbye to BBC One viewers. To stay with us here in the Final Score studio, press the red button, otherwise, bye for now.